Obviously, we've got to start with The Australian. It's a great front page. The PM books net zero checkups. I love this story. It has been kicking around all day. Barnaby, two-faced, both lacks conviction that Morrison needs. The Productivity Commission will conduct 5-year reviews assessing the economic impacts of a 2050 net zero emissions target on regional and rural communities under a climate change safeguard mechanism adopted by Cabinet on Monday night. The Australian can reveal that Scott Morrison and the Nationals agreed on a permanent review process, with the first assessment to be delivered in 2023 under a key plank of the deal struck with the junior coalition partner on the government's long-term emissions reduction strategy. I feel that everything that is going on with low emissions, net zero, is kind of like me at uni when you had a deadline for a 4,000-word essay and you leave it to the last 2 days to do it.
Yeah, but sometimes you do your best work that way, Jenna. And I think that could be the case here with ScoMo.
Yeah.
Although this deal with Barnaby Joyce and the Nats, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how it ages. Like the Productivity Commission running the ruler over the GST has caused a few interesting debates in political circles over the years. So I think, you know, doing the same thing for net zero emissions and how it affects the economy is going to be no different. I guess it provides a bit of a safety net for the Nats, but I just think it's fascinating to think about being a fly on the wall in the party room for the Nationals, where they passed net zero as a majority, but Barnaby is one of the people who voted against it.
It's just brilliant. I love the fact that now all of the junior players are like, I'm not going to talk about party lay matters outside. So it's fantastic. I think it's got so many legs for the next couple of years. I mean, hell, who knows how old we're going to be in 2050, and I don't even want to think about it. But I think it's going to be a very fun trip to Glasgow, that's for sure. Another great exclusive on the Oz Tomorrow by Jeff Chambers is border crime wave risk. Australian Federal Police Commissioner Rhys Kershaw has warned that reopening international borders could trigger a wave of drug smuggling and human trafficking after being appointed chair of the Five Eyes law enforcement group. Mr Kershaw, the first AFP chief to lead the group of 9 Five Eyes security agencies, said attempts to import drugs and traffic vulnerable people in and out of Australia would likely surge as COVID-19 restrictions ease. For God's sake, don't tell Mark McGowan this, because the borders will never reopen.
Oh, he already knows this because he's seen this in action here in WA with the hard border closure. It stemmed the flow of meth coming from the East Coast. So, you know, if the feds want to know how this will work, just ask Mark McGowan. He'll tell them. It works very effectively. But, you know, like it's not a long-term solution, is it? We're not going to keep the borders closed forever. So I think it's inevitable that there will be some of this happen. Some crime will increase, whether it's, you know, a crime wave. I think maybe there's a little bit of fear-mongering involved in that, but
I feel that the only crime wave that's going to happen is a fashion crime wave, because I really miss the cargo short phenomena that we get from our European friends and family that come in, so maybe that could happen. But I kind of like the candor that Kershaw speaks with. He's frequently in the media talking about crime issues. Do you think that putting this on the front page is actually going to wake up people to thinking we really do need to consider what Australia looks like once our international borders open?
Yeah, well, I think at the very least, I might encourage people to look at the last 18 months with sort of a misty-eyed sense of nostalgia in the years to come. We all complained about it. We thought it was terrible. But I think we'll look back on it and go, do you know what? We spent more time with our families. We spent more time out of the office. We spent less time importing drugs and... And humans. So there's a lot of positives here.
I think you're very, very correct, my friend, for sure.